why does no other profession have 2 weeks of holidays?
I can tell you because I was a teacher in the classroom.
So my wife's also a teacher. So yeah, it is a very difficult job, for sure.
People do not understand how difficult it is. It's constant. Like you can't just, in some businesses, for example, in the middle of the day, you're at a desk job, you got to go to the bathroom, you meet a colleague.
Yeah.
You take a 2-3 minute schmooze, whether you're supposed to, whether you're not supposed to, but it's just much more relaxed.
And at nighttime, it's sort of over.
Yeah, it's just much more flexible. You are listening to the JP Show,
where we discuss the issues you care about from a Jewish perspective.
I am Rabbi G.
And I am Rabbi Levi.
And we hope you enjoy this episode. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the JP Show. If wherever you're listening, please subscribe, leave a review. And if you want any questions or further things to discuss, please email us. The email address is in the notes below. So I'm here with Rabbi Levi, as always. I'm actually feeling pretty refreshed. You're looking pretty tired. I think I know the reason.
It's school holidays.
For you, it's school holidays. I actually just spent 3 days in the Blue Mountains. I took a little break. Thank you for holding fort while I was away. Have you ever spent some time in the Blue Mountains?
Yes, we were there for a Shabbos. Remember, we went there a while ago.
Who was there? You were there for a Shabbos?
We took a few years ago, both me and you took a group of young adults there for a Shabbos.
Yes. But that was very low down. You got to go high up.
It wasn't like in the depth.
No, I'm talking about like, near Katoomba and that place, like high up.
Oh, I've been there actually. I went to BINA Sydney has matzem there. I went to get the class there.
Yeah, no, it's really.
I never went touring there. I mean, probably as a kid I did.
I didn't actually go touring much either. We actually slept and walked. But it was the air is amazing there. I don't know, like it's fresh. You go out and you actually can breathe. It's really, really beautiful, crisp, very cold. But the house we were in was very heated, so that was good. Just sometimes just need to switch off for a couple of days. It was really good. And you obviously are very tight because at your stage of life, it's school holidays.
So I actually have a theory about school holidays. I think it's a very outdated invention. I'll tell you why. This is not a statement about what's right or wrong. It's just a fact. I think 60 years ago, 50 years ago, usually there was only one parent working. Usually it was the father. And the mother was home with the children. We're not going to get into that if that's right or wrong. It's just a fact. And school holidays made a little bit of sense because, there was someone home, someone wasn't working and taking care of the children. But nowadays, I think the majority of families, both parents work. And it just actually makes life very difficult for parents. So I wonder if is this a good thing? I don't actually know what the point is exactly.
I think you've got it a bit wrong. I don't think school holidays for kids. It's for the teachers.
Okay, then you can ask a question. Why does no other profession have 2 weeks of holidays?
I can tell you because I was a teacher in the classroom.
So my wife's also a teacher. So yeah, it is a very difficult job, for sure.
People do not understand how difficult it is. It's constant. Like you can't just, in some businesses, for example, in the middle of the day, you're at a desk job, you got to go to the bathroom, you meet a colleague.
Yeah.
You take a 2-3 minute schmooze, whether you're supposed to, whether you're not supposed to, but it's just much more relaxed.
And at nighttime, it's sort of over.
Yeah, it's just much more flexible. Teaching is hard. Shout out for all the teachers. Yeah. Look, obviously they're good teachers and they're better teachers, but that's not the point. The point is that it's very, very difficult. And teachers, do they need so many weeks off? Don't know. Good question. But for kids, you're right. Kids do not need a break.
I actually think it's not good for them. I think it's a disturbance of their schedule.
I think once a year, summertime, the whole country shuts down. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
that could also be for too long, if you ask me.
Not really. I can see where we're going here. You want to just abolish school holidays altogether?
No, I think you give it a week or two off and you go back to school. I mean, I don't know if I put it this way. I don't think in history there was such a thing. Like you just took off for 2 months and the kids didn't do anything for 2 months. I don't think it was like that. I don't think that was ever.
Yeah, so very interesting from a Jewish point of view. I'm just thinking now. So, when you learn the Rambam or you learn the Talmud about education, there's no such thing as a holiday.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. We're connected to the time of year we're in, right? So we're in the time of year. I think we mentioned this last week. The 3 weeks where we mourn the destruction of the temple. And in Halakha it says that when we will rebuild the temple. Everyone stops what they're doing and rebuilds the temple, aside for one group of people. Children learning Torah. They have to. In other words, when, please God, Mashiach comes very soon, the third temple will be being rebuilt. Schools will all be open. because the kids will still need to learn. It's one of the world stands on children learning, it says.
And I've been just studying I'm still studying. I'm giving a Sunday, we have a Sunday morning little mini shiur after davening in the morning. So I've been going through with a couple of guys, the laws of Torah learning from the Maimonides, from the Rambam.
That's right.
Where he talks about, two of the chapters, I think he talks about education of children. And he says that the teacher should be teaching the children every day. I think he says, if I'm not mistaken, on Friday they should stop a bit earlier to get ready for Shabbos. And he says he should even meet them on Shabbos. The only thing is, he shouldn't really learn new things on Shabbos. They should review. Okay.
Which seems like at Talmud times, that's school on Shabbos.
Well, yeah, or some form of school on Shabbos. I mean, I remember when we were in yeshiva, there was times during the day that were supposed to be in the Beit Midrash learning, and in the long summer Shabbos, the afternoon there was time to learn. Yeah. So because it depends, I suppose. Look, there's no question that people do need a break once in a while, and I think it's on a needs basis. The flip side of the coin is we do find, not so much with our Rebbe never took a holiday, but there were great tzaddikim, even Rebbes, that did have a change. They went away on, I don't know, a semi-holiday. I'm not sure exactly what the holiday was, just a change of scenery, or maybe just less crowds, maybe bombarding them. I don't know exactly what it was, but they did do that. But you see, I guess it goes back to a fundamental principle in Judaism. There's no holiday from God.
That's right.
Right. So, I did take off 3 days. I think I needed it. I was really tired and just sort of been working quite hard. But it doesn't mean I didn't have to daven. It doesn't mean I didn't have to learn every day. I mean, learning is something we do every day, and I did that while I was away. In fact, it was quite nice because there was no disturbances and beautiful air, so it was beautiful. But so there's no real vacation from a life of purpose kind of thing. So I suppose the place for a holiday is, if you need it, just to refresh. In other words, if anything, it's for the purpose of coming back reinvigorated. But it's not weeks on end. It's maybe a change of activity, maybe it's a change of theme. But it's not like, okay, I'm just going to do nothing and have a good time and forget about life.
Yeah, for sure. I think, we were saying about kids needing, this is sort of going to a different subject, but it's probably all connected. Interesting to know what you think. Like, there is the flip side of this, that parents nowadays like to keep their kids constantly stimulated. Like, for example, after school, many people take their kids to soccer, to swimming lessons, there's never like a
downtime.
And then there's homework, which I believe you're very against. And
I don't like homework.
That's right. Like, is that a good thing? Like, that we provide structure, the whole. It's sort of like the opposite, like the flip side of what I was saying.
So it's not a good thing for a few reasons. I'll tell you why. Because children are also children, right? Children need to play, and that doesn't mean they can't play in school, but they have to play and they have to have downtime, and they have to explore the world. I'm talking about very young children now, right? Where school holidays is really stupid is in high school.
That's
Meaning
right.
It's not stupid. I'm saying it's sort of unnecessary and it's a bit outdated.
Yeah.
I think you still need it. It needs to be re-looked at of how it's done. But okay. But the reason I don't like homework is because children need downtime. But there's another aspect of which I was thinking as you started to ask the question. I thought that's what you're going to say. Even with school holidays, there is a certain benefit, and this is true after school as well, where children spend more time with their parents. Now, I know, because even I remember when I was a principal, there were even parents who didn't work, like mothers who didn't work, who never liked school holidays because the kids, what I do with my kids all day.
Right.
And my attitude was, what do you mean? Like, they're your kids. Like, spend some time with them, which is good, right? You shouldn't be resentful of time you spend with your kids. Now, someone has a job, it's very inconvenient. And that's the problem today.
And I will say that most people during school holidays nowadays just send the kids to camp. So it's like another place.
Yeah, so that's right. So you replace. So it's really just for the teachers then.
Correct.
Which is questionable how long it has to be. Okay, so that's a separate issue. But parents need to connect with their children, and also children need to have time to explore. The only problem is this. So yes, I think overstimulating a kid, schlepping them to soccer, to tennis, to extra maths, to extra this, extra that, is not good for them. It's not educationally good for them. However, I will say to replace that by bringing your kids home and putting them in front of a screen
Is even worse.
is even worse.
Yeah.
So I remember as a kid, and I wish this would come back to some degree, parents, I mean, it's a completely different topic, but parents need, especially young children, to keep the screen away from them. What will happen? The kids will go and be creative.
Yeah.
They might say, I remember hours of sitting outside in my parents' home. We had a nice house. I mean, it was South Africa, and the area we lived in was decent and a lot of ground. That's what I'm saying, right? We just used to sometimes play on a swing or just listen. We didn't have anything to look at in those days. We didn't have a television at home. In fact, when I was growing up, South Africa didn't have television altogether. And even when they started, we didn't get one. I remember listening to a record. You know what a record is?
Yes, I do know it is.
And I would just listen to songs, and I would look at the record cover. I mean, it only had one picture. You know, record covers only have one.
I do think listening to things is better than watching things. I think listening to things at least allows your mind to imagine things.
Of course.
Whereas when you watch things, it just feeds everything to you.
You're
not
just
using your
completely
brain.
being overwhelmed. You're not using your brain. But I'm talking listening to music or just schmoozing or playing outside or riding a bicycle or all that kind of thing, right? So, yes, I think in that way, school holidays have a benefit, but you got to structure it properly. You got to make time to spend with your kids more. You got to have time for your kids. Force them into spending time with themselves, just to explore the world.
Yeah.
Go outside, look at the trees. I don't know. Spend time in the garden, riding a scooter, whatever they want to do, but not sitting in front of a screen. Then it has a good benefit. It's really, really good benefit. Because little kids need time where they play, they explore, they think, they're creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said spending time with yourself. It's an interesting thing. I remember could be we've spoken about this. Like the idea that you can never just be, you can never just sit with yourself. You always have to like reach for something or it's almost like a way of numbing what you're really feeling, because you know we lack the ability to just be happy. Yeah, and just
to be.
Right.
People are not very comfortable with themselves anymore for some reason. Maybe because they don't know themselves.
Yeah,
they've never met themselves.
Yeah,
and maybe because kids don't meet themselves because they're always occupied with something.
Yeah,
and if it's nothing constructive, then it's a screen. So actually, never. Like I don't think. Sometimes in schools today they force them to look at themselves like what emotionally you're feeling, and that's all nonsense.
So that's not organic. It's just sort of make it happen.
Not to be in touch with it, just to forget about your feelings, just to get to know yourself, to explore the world, to look at it, to develop ideas. Kids are very creative. I remember when we were kids, when we were bored, we used to make things, we used to cut out things, I don't know. I was never particularly artistic, but I thought it was cute, so I thought I used to do it. I remember, in fact, I lived in a very observant home and always looked forward when I was, 8 years old, 9 years old, I looked forward to when I become bar mitzvah and put on tefillin or something. Sometimes the school holidays, I would make cutout tefillin, like I'll take cardboard and ribbon, and I wasn't very good at it, but I used to do it. And, it was just like, such a problem. So now that we've solved the problems of the world, so what do we do about it?
So I'm not sure what the solution is there, because I think that nowadays, again, without getting involved in the whole discussion of two parents working one parent, I think it's just a fact that, especially where we live, it's very, very difficult to live on one income. Sometimes it's just a necessity for both parents to work. It's not necessarily an ideology, it's just a necessity. Which makes school holidays and things like school holidays very, very difficult. And I'm not sure what the actual answer is. I'm not sure if there's a quick and easy answer to it.
No, there's no answer, and it's not. And me and you are not going to be the ones to decide what's changing.
That's right.
But what I will say, if there's something productive we can say to our listeners, is that if you do have children in school holidays and you're not working full time, or someone is working full time, or you're able to take off a couple of days, do it and really love the times. Cherish your children. Spend time with your children, and make your children spend time with themselves. Meaning, structure the time when they're allowed to have a screen, when they're not allowed to have a screen, and make them have play dates, make them play with themselves, make them play with their siblings, and just say, when they come to you and say, I'm bored, say, that's just too bad. Find something to do.
They'll figure it out very quickly.
The screen is in 3 hours from now.
That's right.
And they'll figure it out because they're very creative.
Okay. So wishing everyone who's experiencing school holidays in whatever shape or form, good luck.
And and have a good week.
We'll see
Happy
how that
holidays.
goes. That's right.
See you next week, hopefully. Have a good week.